What up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I am Professor Sticks, and I'm here bringing you guys a video with secrets. Secrets to how the pros see their enemies a lot faster. Secrets to how the pros see their enemies a lot clearer. And yo, why do they look like they're moving so fast? All of that we're going to cover in this video. I'm going to give you guys graphic settings, audio settings, and a secret at the very end for how you can make your enemies bright and light up on the map like some Christmas trees. All right, guys, if you like the video, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit them bells and notifications so that you get up to date on all the secrets and all the tips and some gameplay, some nice gameplay. All right. Without further ado, let's get into this video. But if you really like this content, let's get this video up to 15 likes, all right? 15 likes. That's not a lot, yo. 15 likes. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that like. Make sure you smash that like button. All right, guys, let's get into it. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the graphics setting. You wanna have your display mode on full screen, all right? You wanna have your display mode on full screen because that's gonna allow you to have max FPS, which is frames per second. You're not gonna lose any frames per second. And the whole thing with, if you go on like full screen borderless, sometimes your mouse can go onto your other monitor if you're running with two monitors on a single PC setup. So I highly advise that you go full screen, and you can see when you look at this VRAM usage, that's how much RAM your computer is using. When you go on full screen borderless, it uses more RAM, and you don't want that. The more RAM your computer is using, the harder your computer is working, and you're not going to be able to get that higher frames per second. And so you really need those frames per second, because the faster your frames per second, the easier it is for you to be able to, the faster you're going to see your opponents pop out of different corners, or they're going to render in your screen a lot faster. I've been saying this on all my other videos. Make sure you're getting the fastest frame per second if you're playing on PC. My monitor has a 75 refresh rate. I should get a new monitor, and I'm working on that. 144 hertz is probably better. 240 and up, you have like the best in the business. Now we're starting to get into the real important stuff. This is how you get your frames per second to be higher. All right. So first things first, texture resolution. I have mine set to very low. If you are somebody who wants to see very high details, you could set it to very high, but see, I don't have enough RAM power to handle that. So I have mine set to very low. Texture filter, I have that set to low. Particle quality, I have that set to low. Bullet impact spray disabled. Tessellation disabled. Streaming quality, they just actually recently added this. All right, shadow and lighting. Shadow map resolution set to low. Cache spot disabled. Cache unshadows disabled. Particle lighting low. Direct ray tracing disabled. All right, ambient oscillation disabled. Screen space reflection disabled. All right, anti-aliasing, I have this set to SMAA1. So depth of field, you definitely want to have that disabled, because what that does is that it kind of adds in, like, you know, when you're looking further, your vision gets a little bit blurred because you're looking further. You shouldn't be able to see that far with just normal eyes. So what this does with the depth of field is that when you have it enabled, it kind of mimics that real life thing. So you want to disable that, and when you disable that, you'll be able to see a lot clearer. Why can I not read? Filmic strength all the way to 0. Motion blur disabled. You don't want to have this little blur thing. It's going to make it harder to spot enemies when you're moving fast. Weapon motion blur, again, disabled. You don't want to have this because you won't be able to spot enemies. All right. Film grain, slap that all the way to 0. You don't want that grainy thing. Again, it's going to make it harder to see enemies. You want everything to be nice and clear. So those are the graphic settings. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about is the audio settings. Now, before I was using boost high, and I thought this really worked. And then I went over to Benny Central, looked at his videos, and he switched over to home theater. So I said, I just got some new headphones. Let me try out home theater, and it is a world of difference. You can legit hear everything. I mean everything. And the quality of the entire game, the audio of the entire game sounds really good, but you can really hear those footsteps. So think about switching over to home theater. Let me know what you use down below in the comments. Are you using boost high, boost low, or home theater? Or are you just kind of rocking whatever it is? If you are, you need to switch quick because you need to hear them footsteps. I be playing with my boys and they don't be hearing no footsteps. One, probably because they're not really using good headphones. But if you're using good headphones, make sure you try the home theater. Enough about that. What I do is I cranked master volume all the way to 100, music turned all the way off. It's nice to have, but I don't want to hear the music. I want to be able to hear enemies. Dialogue volume, I have it at 50. You want to be able to hear that enemy coming into the AO, or, you know, kill streak, you know, whenever they have a cluster on you or whatever. You want to be able to hear that. And then the effects volume cranked all the way high. That's your footsteps and things like that. Juggernaut music, that should be disabled. I don't even know why that's enabled. Anyways, Juggernaut music disabled. You can have that enabled if you want. Everything else is up to you. It's all personal preference. All right, let's get into some of that. This is what you guys really came for. You want to know how you can be like a pro. You want to know how are the pros spotting the enemies so quick? Yo, why does he look like he's moving so much faster than me? I'm gonna tell you why. Field of view, baby. Listen to me. On console, you're locked in at 80 field of view, right? Now, when I'm playing PC and I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, I switch over to 120 field of view so I can see everything. Look at that. Look how much you can see. And I'm going to switch to some footage so you guys can see the differences. This is what 80 looks like. And when we increase it to 120, this is what I can see. When I'm playing controller, I like to play on 103 because I find that my aim assist works best at 103. Anything higher than 103, I find that my aim assist can be a little bit wonky. So on controller, playing PC, 103, play mouse and keyboard, 120. All right, now, without further ado, here is the secret sauce. All right, this is the secret sauce. I think I've been looking at the screen of the camera this whole time. Now I'm looking right at the lens. I'm looking at you. You want to shoot like a pro? You want to be able to see your enemies in those dark alleys, in that, oh, like you playing in Superstore and you can't see because the shadows and they're just hiding, or the campers are just hiding in a little bush. This is what you need to do. If you have an Nvidia graphics card, you hit that Alt-Z, bop, this comes up and you go to your game filters. All right. When you go to your game filters, you're going to want to hit sharpen. What I do is I put my sharpen to 30 and I put my ignore film grain to 100%. That is going to make a world of difference. All right. Then brightness, what I go to is exposure at 0, contrast at 30%, highlights all the way down, and then shadows to negative 80%. And then I put the gamma at 31%. That just kind of brightens things up, makes the enemy show up. So I'm going to show you guys game footage of the filters off and of the filter on. When I take off my game filters, this is how the game looks. Put the game filters on. This is how it looks. If you want to be able to see your opponents, you got to use these graphic settings. If you want to be able to see like what the pros are seeing, make sure you mess around with your graphic settings. Comment down below, what are you using for your field of view? I think 120 is absolutely amazing, being able to see everything. But if you're using a different field of view, make sure you comment down below. Again, make sure you like this. Let's get to like 15 likes. All right, we hit 10 likes on a couple of videos. Let's get to 15 likes, yo, and let's keep this thing going. All right, guys, peace.